I could not avoid these 2x shard pulls. Hello everyone, Bront, CatHerder here. We're having some fun talking Raid Shadow Legends, and we have a purple portal, and we have a 2x voids, which is always fun, and we even have a 10x Lamasu, or Amasu, I don't remember the guy's name. It is this dude right here. Anrio Liasu, that's it. He is an absolute beast of a champion, and I would absolutely love to get him, but I am actually not going to be pulling voids on my alt account. So why are we on my alt account? Well, I've got some of these summoning pools here, but first, two things of note. First of all, Raid has actually announced that they will be making a change to Serpent's Will, although they don't have a time of when this is going to come in, where Serpent's Will never be on more than 3 heads at a time. This is better than nothing as far as some of the stuff that they have made changes to in Hydra. So it looks like they're kind of sticking with what they've done, but they realize that they do need to make some changes, and they announced that there are some other changes they are looking at, being very vague and very non-specific, and hopefully they are taking some feedback. So if you have any feedback for Polarium, leave it below, leave it in some of the other posts I've talked about it. Appreciate the comments, and I can certainly pass some of this feedback back to Polarium, either through channels I may have, or just, through support tickets and just letting Polarium know how I feel and how you guys feel. They do look at these videos, even if I'm not a content creator. They look at all these raid videos. They hear you guys. So be vocal, and that will help hopefully make Hydra better. So the other announcement, which is kind of cool, is that we have a new clan boss coming. In fact, if I go here to the news, if you go on this details here in the news, this new threat arises. We're going to have a underground boss of some kind, and there's a little trailer for him, and it looks pretty cool, and there's some weird growth things and some like fungal ball type things. Could be very interesting. Clan boss has always been kind of interesting. The original clan boss has got some of the best rewards in the game, and while the content is a lot easier now than it used to be, it's still some of the more important content to beat. And meanwhile, Hydra clan boss, while originally not super well received, with some tweaks that they had to make it much better, and again, they're still tweaking it, so there's obviously still working on it. Clan boss in Hydra has gotten better. The rewards have gotten a little bit better, and overall, the sets are very useful, and, I think at this point in time, most people consider Hydra Clan Boss to be one of Raid's main features. Whether or not they've shot it in the foot themselves or not, that's up for debate. A new Clan Boss could be interesting. How well this will be received will really probably depend on what it is, what it's going to require. I do think, however, you probably should be looking out for the next fusion or two. And if you see a fusion where the skill doesn't make a lot of sense in current content, it might make sense for this new clan boss. And there's a good chance we may actually have to decide on this next fusion, which I expect probably is going to launch next weekend, maybe the weekend after that at the latest. We may have to make a decision without knowing what this new clan boss is, whether we want to do the next fusion or not. So do keep that in mind. Save some resources if you feel want to. And that goes back to why I am saving resources here on my alt. I've got 3 sacreds. Doom Tower is about to reset, so I can get 2 more sacreds from Doom Tower pretty easily. That'll get me 5, maybe 6. I want to save my Void Shards in case I need them for Summon Rush or Champion Chase. Now I have Fragment Summons and Remnants and other stuff like that for a Champion Chase, but Summon Rushes can be very difficult, and if I don't have enough Sacreds, I may want some Voids. I really would like to avoid pulling Primals, because I suspect we're going to have a 2x Primal coming somewhat soon. So, overall, I am not going to be pulling Voids on my alt, but I'm on my alt because I have 80 of these Summoning Pool Prism Crystals. So we're going to pull 2 of these quickly. I do have a Pepsi here in hand. Not a sponsor. Shame on it, Pepsi. You could be. And so let's see what we get, because this is going to end in 12 hours anyway, so I might as well pull this, and you guys can join in. That is not a legendary. And to be fair, Furgun is one of the people we can get from this, which would be absolutely amazing on this account. If you've not seen the video where I went all in for Furgun, or Firegun, or you know what, I'll pronounce it correctly whenever they give me the champion. You're Furgun until I pull you. Still Furgun. Now, Mr. Either Dorothy is pretty good, but that's not really what we're looking for. We were kind of hoping for a legendary, but you know what? That's what you get. So, all right, let's go hop on my main and let's pull some voids. All right, so here on my main, I am actually running kind of low on 3-star champions, so I need some for chickens for champion training as well. So that helps make me want to pull some of these voids. I've got a lot of extra primal shards. I've got tons of mystery shards. I'm still in the same place. I've got 3 sacreds here. You may or may not be able to see them. I'm in the way. But I'm going to be saving those for this next and upcoming fusion. We'll see if we can make that work. I do have 2 remnant summons, but I think I'm going to hold off on these for CVC just because I think I'm actually getting close to maybe pulling a mythical. What's the mercy on these things? If you get to 24, you start getting additional 1%. You know what? Maybe we'll end up pulling them today. It will probably depend on how many points we have. I do have Carnage coming on this account, so I would like mythical books. I have quite a few mythical books, but I'm really hoping to pull a mythical at some point in time. I can book 1 mythical fully and another mythical partially. So it would be nice to be able to book possibly 2 mythicals, so we might be going for that. Meanwhile, we've got the summoning pool here, so let's start off with the summoning pool. Again, we have Pepsi, not a sponsor. Pepsi, you could be. But let's get something cool. This would be awesome to pull any of these legendaries because dupes of some of these would be good. As I've mentioned before, I would love a Herndig. I would love this new Oak dude. I would not hate an additional War Master to empower my War Masters. An extra Thor would be kind of cool because Thor is actually really good. I don't have an Owl, and you know what? I pulled Gretel, so let's go for a Hansel as well. So let's see what we can do. Get something legendary. That is not something legendary. That is a C's. Insert appropriate joke here. And that is an epic as well. That is a Phoenix. Phoenix probably will get empowered if I don't have a +4 Phoenix already on this account. So, with that being said, we're going to go over here and check the points really quickly because we have Champion Chase Tournament here. I would love to get to this mythical book at 7,500 points. And if I get close to that with 50 shards, first of all, that would have been a hell of a session for pulling shards. That would have been awesome. I will be super happy because that will mean I've gotten either so many epics I don't know what to do and probably a few legendaries. That would be absolutely amazing. But if I'm close, then we may pull those remnant shards and see if we can get up to that mythical book. Until then, you know, I get what I get. It's extra rewards. It's always nice. Let's go get some cool void shards. We've got 50. We're going to rip these off in 5, 10 pulls because, you know what? I prefer 10 pulls. It's a little more fun. And as much as the single pulls are kind of cool and a little more climactic, 10 pulls are more respectable of everyone's time, I think. So let's get pulling. All right. Not a bad start. 2 epics. 3 epics, 4 epics. Wow. All right. And there's a legendary. And that's a Raka. If you did not see my video going for Raka, or not going for Raka, going for Sulfurion on my alt, you'll know that I got a Raka. Raka's not a bad champion. She's got plenty of uses. She's actually pretty good when seer teams. She gives you a shielded increase attack. It's pretty chunky shield, 3-turn cooldown. She has a revive with block debuffs. The big problem with this skill is that it triggers even when you don't have anybody to revive. And simply a 4-turn cooldown block debuffs is really kind of lame. So maybe they could do something else with this. Maybe the cooldown drops by 1 if it didn't revive anybody. Maybe you get an extra turn if you don't revive anybody. I've heard people not want that extra turn. Raka needs just a little bit of something. She does have a little bit of extra turn meter and continuous heals she'll throw out there as well as a little bit of healing on the A1. And overall, a decent speed aura. Raka is not a bad champion. Raka, however, is kind of average to below average for a Void legendary, which is where some of the disappointment comes in. She is still a good legendary. If she was an affinity legendary, she would be considered quite a bit better, most likely, just because the disappointment is often in what could I have pulled from Voids that would have been better. But hey, this is a great start. We got 4 epics and a legendary. Maybe we can actually get that mythical book. Pepsi, you are bringing us some luck. That is awesome. It's about some time. I really could use some luck. It's been a while. Let's get some more cool stuff. More epics. That's good. Cold Hearts are always nice, although I don't really need Cold Hearts. Another epic. That's good. Umbral Enchantress. Not too bad. She is a interesting lockout provoke champion for wave clear. Not really one that's going to help you that much. I'm not very familiar with Ethlyn the Golden. She's one of the newer Voids. Probably should check her out at some point in time. Cardinal, one of the original revivers. She is got an amazing revive. You put her in stone skin and you can actually build an arena team that will die and she'll revive it. And it's pretty easy to counter, but it's a fun offense because you can often take it into teams you know cannot counter it. So a couple of epics here. Oboro will be nice. I need to empower my Oboro on this account. That will be good. I also need better blessings on mine, but, you know, making progress is good. Oboro is a lot of fun in Hydra. But it really does help to have a 6-star blessing on her. Demitha, one of the queens of Clan Boss. Another Umbral Enchantress. Hey, we're getting at least 2 epics every pull, and I had a monster of an early pull, so that's great. Come on, Polarium. Let's get something else really cool. I would appreciate one more legendary. Let's get going. Get something cool. Believe this might be the last 10 pull. Tolf the Maimed, not a particular... Well, Tolf the Maimed is interesting now. Tolf the Maimed can actually solo Sand Devil. So, you know, he could be actually useful to you for a lot of things. He can solo, I believe, up to level 25. And specifically what he does for you is this ability cannot be critical, but what it doesn't say is it also cannot weak hit. So this ability has to be a normal attack. So he's got some fairly chunky heaving, very much similar to Lady Annabelle. He can hit the Shogun, and because this cannot weak hit, he can't power up the Shogun, so he can basically solo the boss, which can be kind of fun. You do need to make him, again, very tanky to be able to take some of the hits, but he basically can just slowly but surely solo the boss. So, you know, if you can get the stats to do it, you can actually solo all the way through 25 now, particularly because of the nerfs that they put on Shogun. Meanwhile, attacks one enemy when not attacking bosses, inflicts pure damage based on max HP. Inflicts damage based on this champion's max AT when attacking bosses. This attack cannot be critical, so this can actually do a decent chunk of damage as well. You don't get the extra healing, but if you've got him in the right gear, it's not too bad. And then decrease the value of enemy shield buffs by 50% at the start of a return, and then increase this champion's max HP by the same amount. That's, again, not going to be super useful. Basically, he was a champ without a location, and people have basically stumbled into the fact that he can be used in Shogun. So, not the worst epic in the game, but you know what? We were really looking for another legendary. So, let us go. I do not believe I had another Raka, so let's go check and see if she is new by checking my Orc Faction Guardians. She is indeed new, so I do not have a dupe. So, you know what? Hey, new legendary. I'm not going to complain too much. Where are we at with champion chase points? We got the mythical book exactly. That is awesome. So that means I can save all the rest of my remnant shards, remnant summons, and don't have to pull those. So those will probably be sold to CVC. Hopefully I will have some mythicals, but you know what? I didn't get the legendary I wanted, but I got the rewards I wanted. And that's worth something, and that's worth being positive on. So I'm not going to complain. I got a new Void legendary, and you know what? I got a bunch of other rewards that I wanted. So I'm going to be happy with this. Hopefully, if you're pulling some shards, you get a chance to get what you're looking for. If you want me to pull your shards, I will be pulling shards Saturday live on my stream on Twitch, so come join us there. Fun is mandatory, pants are not. So until the next video, thank you for stopping by. Hit that like, smash that subscribe button. Appreciate you guys. Love you all. Take care, and until the next video, I'm Bront CatHerder.